In the late 5th century, the classical intellectual world split into two distinct centers with diverging strategies for survival: Athens and Alexandria. The Athenian Academy, directed by Proclus, operated as an esoteric system. Its curriculum was heavily insulated, focusing on pagan theurgic rituals and the study of Orphic hymns. Alexandria School, led by Apollo, was a state-funded public institution. Its classrooms held a volatile, mixed demographic of pagan and Christian students, often resulting in direct cultural friction. Ammonius, the son of Hermias, emerged as the central figure tasked with navigating this high-stakes environment. In 489 AD, the situation reached a breaking point. Brutal Christian persecutions targeted the city's pagan elite, threatening to dismantle the school entirely. To prevent the total erasure of classical philosophy, the school required a pragmatic shift in how its public curriculum was structured. The historian Damascus suggests Ammonius secured his position through a wickedly greedy financial deal with the local Christian bishop. Historian Richard Sorabji proposes a different motive, that the deal was a strategic concession to remove controversial pagan magic from the classroom in exchange for institutional safety. This agreement forced Ammonius to redesign his pedagogy, moving away from ritual and toward rigorous secular textual commentary. He structured the new curriculum around logic, starting with Porphyry's Isagoge to provide a neutral intellectual ground between pagan and Christian students. By harmonizing the works of Aristotle and Plato within a logical framework, Ammonius established a model that allowed classical thought to persist within a hostile religious landscape. Ammonius's project required bridging a major metaphysical gap between the Athenian Neoplatonists and the Aristotelians regarding how the universe was caused. In Aristotle's model, the unmoved mover functions purely as a final cause, a target drawing the universe toward it without performing an act of creation. Plato's demiurge operates as an efficient cause, actively building and ordering the cosmos from the top down. Proclus and the Athenian school criticized Aristotle's model, arguing it lacked the productive, creative force necessary for a coherent universe. Ammonius resolved this by asserting that the two ancient masters must be interpreted as being in agreement. He looked to Aristotle's physics, arguing that any single origin of motion must by its very nature also be a productive, efficient cause. His deduction was precise. If a body receives its eternal motion from an unbodily cause, it logically follows that it receives its eternal being from that same source. This interpretation aligned Aristotelian physics with Platonic creation, producing a unified theory of causation that was highly compatible with emerging Christian theology. Beyond cosmic physics, this ordered system raised a question of agency. In a universe governed by a single cause, is there room for free will? Ammonius used his commentary on Aristotle's De Interpretantiae to defend human choice against three specific logical traps. The first trap, the Reaper argument, utilized Stoic logic to claim that all future events are already fixed by necessity. Ammonius countered this by identifying a modal fallacy. The determinist wrongly assumes that a future possibility is already a necessity simply because it might happen. The second trap involved divine foreknowledge, the idea that if a deity knows the future, then that future cannot be changed. Ammonius applied an Amblician solution, stating that the nature of knowledge is determined by the knower, not by the thing being known. While humans perceive time as a linear, blurred sequence of unknown events, a divine observer exists outside of time, viewing the entire timeline as a single, definite reality. This model offered a way to reconcile divine certainty with human contingency, but still left one final, strictly logical problem: the truth value of future statements. Aristotle's famous sea battle thought experiment provides the single clearest demonstration of this deeply complex logical conflict. It starts with the rule of bivalence. Every declarative statement must be either true or false. If the statement, "there will be a sea battle tomorrow," is true today, then the event is necessary. If it is false, the event is impossible. If bivalence applies strictly to the future, then chance and human choice effectively cease to exist. Ammonius intervened by distinguishing between truth in a definite manner and truth in an indefinite manner. He argued a statement about the future obeys bivalence. It must eventually result in a true or false outcome. However, because the event hasn't happened yet, it's only true or false indefinitely. The outcome remains undetermined until the battle itself. By refining how truth applies to time, Ammonius provided the logical machinery needed to support the existence of free will. Ammonius functioned as a philosophical engineer, restructuring the Neoplatonic system to withstand the pressures of a shifting religious and political landscape. His decision to prioritize rational commentary over sectarian ritual created a durable metaphysical system that was easy to export. This logical curriculum was preserved by his direct students, including Philoponus, Simplicius, and Olympiodorus. From Alexandria, these texts moved into the Syriac-speaking world, where scholars like Sergius of Rhaetiana integrated them into new linguistic contexts. These Syriac translations were eventually rendered into Arabic, providing the logical frameworks used by Al-Farabi and Avicenna. The chain of transmission continued as these annotated Greek and Arabic works were translated into Latin by figures like William of Moerbeke. This specific Alexandrian lineage provided the theological architecture Thomas Aquinas used to integrate Aristotelian thought into Western philosophy. By prioritizing logical clarity over religious mystery, the Alexandrian tradition provided the technical machinery that later enabled the successful synthesis of classical philosophy with medieval theology.